given here, and here these numbers are the numbers used in the same way in all the statements. Anyone? Like my phone number is 02225072106. Sairona took 5 pence from a shop to gift her cousin. Ankita takes bus number 5 from CST station to reach her office. Riyaz made 15 liters of sherbet for the migrants walking on the road during the lockdown. The locking period for a policy is 15 years. Shiraj came third in his class. Vaidehi's height is 135 centimeters. Ashwin and Reena collected rupees 7,500 for sanitization workers aid, and it's already 5:30 p.m. Are all the statements, in all the statements are the numbers used in the same way?
No, ma'am.
No. Can you please, can anyone say what are the difference?
Biji madam, sorry to interrupt. Please call the name of the participant to answer. Because only some keep on responding, but many others. Yeah.
Inequalities. Sorry. Oh, madam.
Ma'am, in all the statements, they are used for different purposes. Like for phone number, it's just a 02225, and somewhere it's written as time, 5:30 p.m.
Yes, correct. Thank you for responding. Yeah. So here the number, please. The numbers are, please mute your mic. Yes. Okay. So here the numbers are used in different contexts. Now let's see. Here the bus number is 5. The bus number is given as 5. So sometimes we say that the number 5 bus number has passed away or is late. So here this number shows, or it symbolizes the bus, or it's just a label. The number is used just as a label for it, and it does not have any connection with any operations of mathematics and all. We just show it as a label. So here the number is used as a label or a symbol. Now, number in some cases are used as measures, like 5 liters or 5 centimeter, like that. So here also, here the number is a measurement of something. So number is used as a measure. In some cases, the number is used as a place or order, like in a register. The roll numbers are given to the students, and that we call them as roll number 3 come out. So there 3 is the order, or stands for the order, it is a child's number. We label the child stand in that order. And in the assembly also, the first, second cardinal numbers, we use the child who is standing from the front, the 5th child who is standing. So we call like that. So all here also, there may not be any binary operations. It may not make, the number does not make any sense there. In some cases, number is used as an amount, like 5 pencils or rupees 250. So here it depends, operation depends on the context attached to the number, or according to the context we use these numbers. Now, shall we ask one by one how these numbers are now arranged? I think this is clear. Chinnu ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
In the first case, my phone number is so and so. So here the number is it a measure or a label?
I think it's just a label.
Yes, it is a number, simple number, it is a label. Okay. Sayana took 5 pence from a shop to gift her cousin. Second one, Indulekha ma'am.
It's an amount, ma'am.
Yes, it's an amount.
5.
Okay. Now, Nitya Nalan.
Yes, madam.
Ankita takes bus number 5. Here number is used as
Label, madam.
a label. Thank you. Very nice.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, madam.
the locking period for policy is 15 years. Rakhi,
Members use also the sir.
Let me ask you. Thank you, Nitya.
Sorry.
Rakhi, ma'am. Rakhi KR. Hello? Rakhi, ma'am. Are you listening? Okay, Reshma.
Choose the time, ma'am.
No, time comes under measure. Okay, so these are some of the numbers of this. Please mute your mic. That is a request. After you answer, you please mute your mic. So time, years, amount, these letters. Now you know these numbers come under which heading. Now let's see how the counting is done, or how the child counts and what are the problems they find while counting or learning the numbers in the foundational stage. So here I am giving some of the examples, some of the situations, how the child is responding. So this is a small girl jury, and every day jury is given with 5 gems to eat, and one day and she arranges like this and she sees that, yes, I have got it. Every day her parents give her 5 gems. One day she was given only 4, and by seeing, she doesn't know to count, she's a small kid, and she, by seeing the arrangement of the gems itself, the child knows that I'm not getting the normal or the usual number of gems today. So, how or what do you think how the child has found out? Jolly man, that she is not getting the usual number of gems. Jolly Joes.
The order she used to make has changed today. A particular day, the order she used to make daily was changed. From that, maybe she understood that.
Yes, correct, ma'am. Thank you. So here on that particular day, she arranged it and she saw that the gems are not the same way as she usually or every day she arranged. And so the spatial sense, the child has some spatial sense, and that 5ness or 4ness or 2ness, that is not found on that day, and so she found that the number is different. So some of the milestones for counting, or what the child should learn before the child starts or learns to count numbers, is one-to-one correspondence with numbers. You have seen we give starting or beginning, during the beginning in the class 1 itself. It's not compulsory that the child may be knowing all the numbers and child has learned everything and we has admitted to class 1. So if the child is not knowing, we have to start from the beginning itself. So here the main points or main way or main things we have to keep in mind are one-to-one correspondence with number names. The number names, or when the child counts, the child should touch the objects and should count one by one. We have seen small kids, when we are asked to count a set of balls or pebbles, they touch each of them and they count. So that practice should be given by touching the objects with the number names. And there should be a starting and there should be an end. Not that randomly from in between, if the child starts counting, that because the child may not get the correct number. So there should be a starting and ending of numbers during counting. And thus the child gets a result of counting. Now what is a one-to-one correspondence? Can anyone tell me how, or is the child counting the same, the child is counting the correct manner? Yeah. How will the child count? Let me ask. Smita.
Yes, madam.
Yes, how will the child count, or do you find any error in this?
Okay, madam.
No, you can also be a small child. You can count. Yes, 1, 2.
They should draw a line.
I just want to know how the child will be counting it. Is there any mistake here? Some pebbles are given and child is asked to count. Can you tell me how the way the child would have counted it? Nitya ma'am.
Madam, may
Yes, Nitya ma'am.
I? Madam, it is not given in the proper order. After one, the two should be written next to the pebble. That is no.
Order is not correct. Then,
Ma'am, may
yeah, Gautam sir.
ma'am, numbers are from 1 to 9, but the pebbles are not in the same way. Pebbles are only 7 pebbles.
Yes, very correct, sir. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then again the child has gone to 1 and the child has repeated counting as 8, 9. So one pebble is counted as 1 and also as 8. Because these numbers or pebbles are not kept in a sequence, the child doesn't know the starting and ending of the numbers and counting. So this mistake has happened because the child is repeatedly counting the same pebble. Is it so? Do you all agree? Yes, you can show me a thumbs up if you agree. If not, unmute and say. Yeah, thank you. Okay. And here in another situation, so these examples are given because these may be the mistakes. We may think in a different way. Yes, your child is given 7 and why can't he count in that 7? But a child is not able to count unless it is arranged. So it is simple for us, not for a child of class 1. So these are some of the situations which we overlook and we go to the next concept where the first concept is not clear to the child. And here in this next slide, you can see a child is, the daddy or his grandparent is showing a picture of 3 flowers and the child is asked to count and tell how many. But the child is telling, I don't know to count. And the child, Dadi counts for him or her as 1, 2, 3 and 3 flowers. Now, the grandparent is telling that yes, it is 3 flowers, but Sohan is not at all agreeing with that. The child says that these are not 3 in number. Now here, can you tell me what is the confusion in the child's mind? Or why the child is not accepting? Dhanya ma'am. Is it so? Sajita ma'am.
Madam, I think because the child is thinking that only 3 duck will represent that 3.
Very correct, ma'am. So the child has learned, that is the written material, printed material he has seen, then he has learned it as 3 duck. And the child was repeatedly asked to count and learn it as 1, 2, 3, 3 ducks. So the child, this gets imprinted in the brain, mind of the child that only this picture is 3. So here we should think, or we should give them a lot of objects. In our classroom itself, we can give 3 pencils, let them count the 3 books or notebooks, textbooks. So the available objects they can use and they can count and they can see that the number remains the same but the object may vary. So counting there, that wrong notion should not be kept or brought in the minds of small kids. So these mistakes can be done. So you can give more examples for counting. This is another situation where we can see a small child is given, Tuba is given 3 sandwiches and she is asked to eat 3 sandwiches. Now Tuba is counting them as 1, 2 and 3. 3 sandwiches she is counting and she is eating 1 sandwich. And then the child is asked to tell how many remains or how many are she is left with. Now Tuba is telling that I have now 3 sandwiches. The one I have 8, I1, I8, and the other two are 2 and 3 are here. Now, what is the confusion here? Kirti ma'am, can you please?
It's Anju.
Anju. Okay, well, it's written as Kirti. Kirti, Karthikeyan. Okay, Anju, you can tell me. What is the confusion here? Why the child is saying after eating one sandwich, why the child is saying that there are 3 now again?
I think the child didn't know the word sandwich on the word left.
Yes, yes.
The child ate the third one on.
She says that I ate the first sandwich, and now here there is 2 and 3 pointing on the sandwich which is kept in front of her. What is the confusion here? Monisha. Monisha Mohan.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, just discuss it. It's not nothing. What you think you just explain. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I think he doesn't know about the remaining. If she eats, if she ate the 3, then she also had the 3 remaining.
Okay, thank you, Monisha.
Ma'am, may I?
Please, yes.
That's fine. Ma'am, the child knows the naming as 2 and 3. 1, 2,
Yes,
and 3 are
yes.
naming. The child doesn't identify it as 1, 2, 3 counting.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Sheeta. Now here the child has labeled each sandwich as 1, 2 and 3. So she is thinking the first sandwich, the sandwich which was named as 1, I ate, and the other 2 sandwiches which is labeled as 2 and 3 are kept. So I have 3. So here the child has labeled, or she doesn't think that this is the count or this is the numbers given to, or she thinks that the sandwich is named as or labeled as 2 and 3. That's why the child is not able to find out here. So that is the confusion there for the child. So that should not happen. We should teach counting in a sequence, in an orderly manner. The child should not consider that it is the label of that object, number 3 or number 2 is not the label, but it is the cardinality of the set, or it is the full set what is 3. Now if 2 and 3 is left, she should again count from 1 and 2. So that is the set number, not the label of any of the objects. So that thing should be made clear, that concept has to be made clear to the child in the early stage. Here also, the child is not counting in order. The child skips some of the numbers. In the first case, the child has skipped number 1 and 2. Second case also, she has skipped 1, 2, 3, 4 has gone, 5, 6, 7, 8 has gone. So skipping should not be done, or that should also be avoided. They should be learned or taught. The number should be taught in a sequence, in the correct order. Now what is cardinality? Number sense. Now that is when counted every object and used correct number sequence. Then we should use correct number sequence, then correct number name of the last object, or the number name should not be that. The last number we found is not the name of that object, but it is the cardinality of the whole set. That concept the child should understand, as in the case of Tuba. Yeah. I think you are getting my point. Yes. Okay. Chinnu ma'am, any problem? Is there any confusion?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And the child should be able to count, so that during the counting stage all these things should be taken care. Now here a principle of counting, it comes under abstraction. So a small child, we have seen that the child says that the picture of duck is the last slide. So there we saw that three ducks are there, the child understands that 3 ducks is number 3. So that should be, abstraction should be avoided. Like here, 4 bed sheets, 5 bed sheets are kept, everything is counted as 5, but they are arranged in different ways. The child should understand that even though things are arranged in different ways, but the number remains the same. Here they are line, candles are the line, the pillows are arranged in a different way, the walls are arranged in different way, but the child should be able to count and say that all numbers are same. Now next principle is subtitling. Subtitling means here the child is given a set of 5. You can see the numbers we give them as a set. Yes, number 5 is given. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a set given to them. And again the numbers are added. Like 1 is added to this 5. 5 plus 1, 6. 5 plus 2. Like that. The child goes on adding to this set. And by person seeing itself, the child counts or gets the number. So this is another principle of the way of counting. And the next is hierarchical inclusion, which says that the child should see that if the child gets 1 toffee, that is 1. When the child counts it as the other one is given and the child counts 1, 2, the child should understand that the 1 is included in this 2. 1 is also there. Even though we say that there are 2 toffees, the child should understand that it includes 1 also, like that. 3. The child should understand that 1, 2 are included in this 3. 4. 1, 2, 3 are included in this 4. So that concept or that principle also should be made clear to the child. So these are some of the counting principles that the child should know, or the way the child should be taught counting. That is stable order. There should be a sequence, there should be a stable order for all during the counting. If you mess them up and give them, they may not be able to learn. So in the early stages, to make the concepts of numbers clear, there should be a proper order, sequence. Then one-to-one correspondence, the child should touch the objects and should tell the objects with the number name, associate the number name with objects. That is one-to-one correspondence. Cardinality, we have seen the position or the order, the label, it is labeled as the roll number 3 or roll number 37. It says that is the label of the child. Then conservation means even though the objects are spread, in the case of if 5 balls are given, they are closely packed. The child should count and should understand that is 5. And even though they are kept in a spatial, in a bigger area, larger area, and with the spatial difference, the child then also should count and should be able to count it as 5 or understand that it is 5. Then order irrelevance, whether it is kept in a circular manner or it is in from left to right, top to bottom, any way the arrangement may be, but the child should understand or should be able to count the number of 5. Abstraction we saw, let it be any arrangement or any color, any object, counting has to be done, the number remains the same. Subtitling also, a set is given, and by saying the set itself, the child knows that is 5, and then goes on adding to it. And there is hierarchical inclusion. Even though 4 toffees are there, the child should not label the last object as 4. The child should understand that it includes all the other numbers like 1, 2, and 3 are included in this. I think this much is clear to all of you. Any doubts? Yes. Clear. So this is the way how you should teach the students counting, so that there may not be any confusion in counting, and once the child knows to count or learns to count without any confusions, solving all the problems, then it will be easy to teach the maths in a simple way that interest can be created. So here an assignment I have given, you have to just tell them, label them as it is label or a measure or how these numbers are used, and you take any 7 numbers and you can use in different situations. Like my door number is 37, so it is a label. So you can take any 7 numbers and you can make your own statements like this. Say here, 5 numbers I have taken, and you can make any statements. In any context you can make a statement. So that was one topic. I dealt with how to count things. And another one, the main problem in case of our small kids, or it develops to the future or the later stage also. Yes, so word problems. How this the child feels it difficult. You have seen those who are teaching maths, they find that children find it very difficult to, or they may not attempt when questions are put in a situation or in a context. They may be knowing 37 plus 15 or what is 90 plus 10 and all this, but when these things are put in a word cut or in a context, they even don't have the interest to read what is it once, and they don't have that interest, and that interest dislike towards that word problems may be due to that the child is not able to understand what is being asked in the question and all. So from the beginning itself, if we develop that interest, or from a single question, that is 8 plus 2 is 10, from that single number pattern you can develop your own questions, different types of word problems with different patterns, how you can do with that single word or that single expression, how you can develop different, and ask the children also to develop their own questions. So what are the simple ways for doing that? Let's see in this, the children's strategies to solve addition and subtraction problems. Earlier we were asked to mug up, or we were asked to learn what or the way the teacher taught us. So this is the way you draw 5, 8 sticks. Again, draw 2 sticks, you add, and then we count it as to all together you count and get the number 10. That was the way that we were taught. Yes, do you all agree or not? We had some patterns, fixed patterns, that way we learn. But nowadays, the full freedom is given to the child. The child can develop his own strategy. He can develop in his mind. They are more creative because that freedom is given, and we were not. So that freedom is there, and child develops his own strategies to solve. And you cannot, or we cannot tell that that is wrong. If the answer is right, that strategy is the best strategy for the child. You cannot impose that the way you learn is good and that has to be followed. No. So this here also the child, we are giving freedom to the child, and we should know how the child may think of it. Yes. Now you can say make 5 simple addition and subtraction problems. How many minutes should we take? 1 minute. 5 simple addition and subtraction word problems. Yes, take a sheet of paper, do it fast. Simple, for 1 and 2 classes only, foundational. Make 5 word problems. Can be addition, subtraction. I think it is over. Is it over? So that keep those 5 questions ready. That will help you later. Okay. Now, am I going very fast? Is it okay? So here I have given 5 questions. Okay. Here the
Audible.
I'm not audible.
Audible.
okay. Now is it okay? Sarah had 8 biscuits. She ate 3 of them. How many biscuits does Sarah have left? Second is Sarah has 3 rupees, but to buy biscuits, how many more rupees does she need to earn to have 8 rupees? And third problem is Sarah has 3 rupees. Diana has 8 rupees. How many more rupees does Diana have than Sarah? So, will you all solve this problem? Let me call someone. Chaitanya. Madam Chaitanya, are you there? Yeah. Emily Matthew. Govind S. Yes,
ma'am.
how will you solve it? Or what is the answer?
Sir, I have 8 biscuits and she eat 3 of them. So we have to subtract 3 from 8 and the answer is 5.
So, second question, Evelyn ma'am. Thank you, Govind sir. Thank you.
I have 3 rupees to get biscuits. So many more rupees does she prepare when to have 8 rupees?
Okay.
8 minus 6.
Okay, that also is 8 minus 3. Now, Georgie John.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The third question, Sarah has 3 rupees, Diana has 8 rupees. How many more rupees does Diana have than Sarah? So we have to subtract 8, we have to subtract 3 from 8.
Okay.
So that we find the difference.
Yeah. So we can say that in all the cases it is 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. Yes, do you all agree or not? In all the case it is same answer, that is 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. And what we all did, this is the way an adult solves these 3 problems, and this type of problem is given. 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. We all solved in no way. But does a small child of class 1 does the same way? No. As we adult done? No. Yeah. So can you tell me how a small child will be doing it? First question. Sarah has 8 biscuits. Okay, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, Sarah has 8 biscuits. She ate 3. You lost the child.
No, I am not asking how we will ask. Is how the child will be doing it. A small child of class 1, how the child will be solving it.
Madam, may I?
Yes, Nitya ma'am.
Madam, the child will, with the help of her fingers, she will count 8. Then she will fold 3 fingers. And then she will count how many fingers are left.
Okay, so by using fingers. Okay, Nitya, thank you. Very good. Now, Kavita ma'am, can you tell me how the child will be doing solving the second question? Sarah has 3 rupees.
Yes, ma'am. So maybe we give them coins, ma'am.
Yeah.
The child might be able to do it. So one side will have 3 coins and the other side 8 coins that they have. They will see the differences, compare them, and find out.
Is there any comparison? How many
What is
we need? Yeah. So she will be adding. She will be adding to get 8. Yes?
Yes,
No.
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, ma'am, from 3, how much to get to 8? So,
Yeah.
8 is the differences.
Yes. So first the child. Okay, we will come to that. Now let me ask Krishna Priya ma'am. How will you solve the second? How do you think the child will be solving the third question?
Okay, madam, we can do it in different ways. Maybe we can use the matchsticks to solve this in class. It will help really because we can have 8 matchsticks and when we can place 3 into a group and then how many are remaining. Then that way we can do. Or by fingers we can also do it.
Yes. So a small child. Thank you ma'am. You can do.
Vimala madam also want to say something.
Yes.
I want to say something, ma'am. Because the second question, the child misunderstands that more gives easy. Maybe he will add the number 3 plus 8. Sometimes he will subtract 3 minus 3. These all mistakes they can do, they have to do. Then the teacher has to correct the bigger number minus smaller number, make them understand that only the weak students can understand.
Yeah. So this is the.
Let me.
Yeah, Gautam sir.
Now in third case we can use the strategy that there are 2 characters. That one is Sarah and other one is Diana.
Okay.
So we can implement this question in the class by selecting 2 members from the class. Friends, 2 friends. And we can give 8 to one and 3 to another one, and we can give a group.
So here, here we are that so both the child will bring 3 and 8 things, and that will be compared and find the extra. Is it so?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the way the child will be solving. Now let me see. When a child was asked to solve so we find that that is not the same way we adults solve them. So when a child is given this first problem, Sarah had 8 biscuits, she ate 3 of them. What the child will be expecting to do? She will be taking 8 biscuits like this. And she will be putting 8 chips or biscuits, anything she can put. She will be taking away the 3 and she may be counting the rest and she will get the answer 5. Agreed? And in the second question, where Sarah had 8 biscuits, she ate 3 of them. How many biscuits does Sarah have left? Now Sarah will be doing? She will be first keeping the 3 biscuits. Then she will add on one by one, like till as 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and she keeps the extras, and now she starts counting the numbers of chips which she has added, like she will add 1, then 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is the way the child will be solving it. The child has kept or found out her own strategy. And this extra she will answer it as 5. Now in the third problem, when it was asked, the child made 2 sets. That is, Sarah has 3 rupees, she kept 3 chips here, and then for next, Diana had 8 rupees, she kept the elder 8 as second set, and now she starts counting the unmatched ones, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. She compares here, and she gets the answer as 5. Now, the 3 problems were solved in 3 different ways by the child. Even though we had a single solution, the child solved it in 3 different ways. Now, I have given 4 boxes for this. 3 boxes I have made as, and that column questions are put in each box. Now, here 2 headings are: how did Tanya solve it, or the child solves it, and what is the problem really asking them to do. So first question is, Sarah has 8 biscuits. She ate 3 of them. How many biscuits does Sarah have left? So here, how is she solving it? In one word, can you tell me what did she do here? How did the child solve it? Yes, she removed. By removing, yes. Yes or no? She removed the 3 biscuits out of the 8. She removed the biscuits and she got the answer. And what is the problem really asking her to do? To find out the remaining. Yes. That is the real question what the child was asked. So here in this, she removed 3 biscuits, and the question is, or the problem is asking us to find out how many remains. Now in the second question also, here Sarah has 3 rupees to buy biscuits. How many more rupees does she need to earn to have 8 rupees? Here also, she added more biscuits to 3. She added 5 more biscuits to 8 and she got 8. Agreed? And here the question wants us to know what is the real question or the real problem asking us to do. How many is added to 3 to get 8? Yes? How many more is added? And in the last question also, here the child is keeping the 2 sets and he is finding out how many more is needed to make them equal. And here the child is comparing. Do you all agree with all the three questions and the answers? Yes, so here the child is removing something in the first question, the child keeps on adding to solve in the second, and in the third the child keeps the 3 things and comparing them. Now, we can rewrite them. Now one more column we have added. If there are any action taking place in 3 questions. Is there any action taking place? Murli, John? Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, there is one.
In the first question, what is the action? Is there any action?
Finding how much is left.
Is the child doing something?
Yeah, he's subtracting 3 from 8.
Subtraction is not there. I think we are for the foundation. He is adding something, yes. Or removing something. That is the action what he is doing. So in the first case, action is there.
Yeah, he's removing.
Remove. Thank you. Now, Nikita Susan. Nikita ma'am. In the second question, is there any action taking place? Nikita. No. Yes, the child is adding something. Yes. Yeah. And in the third question, Nitya ma'am, Nitya Babu.
Comparing.
Comparing. The child is not doing any action. she is keeping something, and that's what she is keeping, and she is just comparing, no action takes place. Agreed?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So in the first case, action is there. Second case also action is, second question also action is there. The third case, it is only comparison and no action is taking place. So we can say that addition and subtraction problems, we can add something to them, some removal takes place, and there are only set of comparison. Only these three types of questions you can mainly see. One more type is there for, we can add for addition and subtraction problems. That is, let us think of another set of questions. In a class there are a total of 20 students. If 14 of these are girls, how many boys are there in the class? Second is, Gauri has 30 green and black marbles together. If 12 of them are green, how many of them are black? The third is, 6 girls and 3 boys are playing football. How many children are playing football? Is this question similar to the one we saw before? Priti ma'am? Priti?
No, madam.
No. Then what way are they different? Is it the same type of question we solved in the case of Sarah? Reshma Chandran. Reshma ma'am, please.
Madam, may
Sadish Joseph. Yeah, I'll come to you later. Sadish. Shobha Kurian.
Ma'am, I think we have to categorize. So this is the different way. So total 20 there, girls and boys. They have to categorize.
Yes, we have given the solution. Yes, 20 students are there. And a set, 2 sets are there. Yes, that I'm giving 2 sets and we are telling yes, together it is like this. It is not this different from the first type of questions. So these are another type where a whole is given and 2 parts are asked. Yes? Yes or no? Yes. Second
Yes.
also, Gauri has 30 black and green marbles. Now altogether she has how many? Like that. One part is given, the other set is asked. So total is given, whole is given, one part is given and the other part is asked. Gautam sir, this way. 6 girls and 3 boys are playing football. How many children are playing football? So you can see that in these type of questions, two parts are given and a whole is given. So there no action is taking place. There is no action of removing, no action of adding anything, and just no comparison. This is part whole questions. We can bring them under part whole questions. So this is another type of question which can come under addition and subtraction problems. So these are the main 4 sets or ways of making addition subtraction problems. Any problems you may see, it will come under any of these. Either it will be a joining problem, it is a separating problem, either a comparison or a part. Any you can see these type of, you can take from your textbook that comes under join, separate, compare and part whole type of questions. So all the addition subtraction problems come under these 4 headings mainly. Now here we have another type of set of questions I have. Pallavi had 5 books. Her parents gave her 2 more books for her birthday. How many books does she have now? So 5 was given to her, 2 more extra was added to it, and how many is asked? And the question is, Pallavi had 5 books. Her parents gave her some books. That amount is not known, and now she has 7 books. So how many books did she get? All these are which type of questions? Sindhu ma'am? All these are which type of questions? Can you tell me? Something is given to you, something is added to it, and then you have to find the answer. Sindhu Nithan.
Making sense, madam.
These are all
Sets, they are made into sets.
they are joining type. We learned joining, separating, part by part whole, and compare type of questions are there. So they come under which heading? Yes, Sajita Sabu ma'am. Mike, please.
It's under joining.
Joining, yeah. So here some amount is given, something gets added to it, and we get the answer. So this is a joining type of question. Sindhu ma'am, is it clear?
Madam.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we have here this type of questions like Pallavi had 5 books, result, and her parents gave her 2 more, and now the result is unknown. The child has to find out the result. Here, in the second case, you can see that Pallavi had 5 books and the change is unknown. What gets added to it to make 7, that is unknown. And here all, the question is 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. With the same one expression, you can make these type of 3 types of questions where one case the result is not known, one case change is not known, and one case the start is not known. How many is given? Are the difficulty levels same here? Are the difficulty levels for a child same on all these 3 questions? Or which one you find the child will find more difficult? Yes, Shrija ma'am.
Start unknown, ma'am.
Start unknown. Yes, thank you. Very good. So this is for a small child, the start unknown type of questions will be more confusing because the child does not know what to do. First number itself is missing. So this, even though it is a joining problem, this type of questions are more confusing. So you can yourself practice, give practice for one expression like this. You can make 3 different types of questions for this. And another, and let me finish off with this. Compare type of problems also. Here, for example, Shekhar has 7 laps, Jyoti has 9, and how many more Jyoti run than Shekhar? Like Shekhar can be taken as a reference set. And Jyoti can be taken as a compared set, and the answer you get compared, or the difference that you get becomes the compared. So you can make 3 different things, and you can prepare questions as where the difference is unknown. That is, second, what is the difference? Kiran has 3 pencils, Salman has 7 pencils, and how many more pencils does Salman have? So there the difference, how many more, the difference is unknown. In the second case, a compared set is unknown and reference set is unknown. So like this you can make different types of questions which come under this joining, where the result or change is unknown or start is unknown. Where it can be a joining type of question, it can be a separate type of question, part whole or compare type of questions. You can make this type of different questions from your textbook itself, from class 1 and 2 itself. You make these 3 type of questions. You can make it with 3 different sets of numbers or not. And the other, one more thing was understanding of, can I take 5 more minutes? I will finish up. Rajiv.
Yes, ma'am, the time should be 5 minutes only. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the other, one more area where we should be clear or making the children clear is understanding spatial reasoning. Because the child should be able to understand or imagine. The main skills that come under the spatial reasoning is imagining and constructing, figuring and all. So the child should first, when you give an object, the child should see what is said. Or when you say that a 3D object, an apple is or a bangle is round, the child should be able to imagine it in his mind what we are saying, the teacher is saying. Then the child should be able to construct or say what the teacher has known. The child can say only after the child has understood what the teacher is showing there. Yeah. So imagining, constructing, and that child is drawing what is shown to him. So these are the main three skills. The imagining should be there in the child to get or understand the spatial reasoning. And this spatial reasoning is very important in higher class also when it goes to estimations and geometrical constructions and all. This spatial reasoning which we teach the patterns or the arrangements, all these things which we teach in the primary are very important. And that has to be made clear to the child. We may think that patterns are the very simplest way, but some children may find it confusing or difficult area. And if it is not clear in the primary stage itself, this spatial reasoning is also important for mental ability type of questions also. So that area this concept has to be made clear to the child. And the main skills that come under we come under spatial reasoning are locating things. We know locating map, route map and all we need locating, orienting, finding the directions, in which direction the objects are kept or hands of a clock are, like that. Recomposing is also that you dismantle something, then again you join them. That is, if you take a piece of paper or A4 size sheets are kept in a bundle, so that is kept. Now you are decomposing it, you are keeping it as 4 papers, you are spreading it and then it is decomposed. Now again if you are piling them up, all the A4 size sheets, that is recomposing. So that type of, then 3D, 4D dimensions, balancing, all these symmetrizing, these all comes under spatial reasoning. So these all parts should be made clear to the child properly in the early stages itself. Comparing things, then sensing, visualizing, imagination, all these things has to be clarified for a foundational child in the early stage itself. So I think these are the main areas where the child finds it difficult to understand, and you can make them give more questions, and you yourself can prepare, and the child also, help them to also, what problems you can give an expression and you can ask. Now make a question where the first number is asked, or find the second number, you make a question. It will be for second class and all, the child will come up with all the questions. So thank you for patient listening. I think what I wanted to tell you has been done from my side. Only this much I expected to tell to you, because it is a vast area. That was a 6-day workshop for us, and here I have just compressed it for 1 hour. Thank you Emma ma'am for including me in this, for teaching, giving my some points on foundational numeracy. Thank you. Thank you, Vandana.
Thank you, Vijay ma'am.
One of the participants can give a feedback. 1 or 2, anybody. In the following sessions, it will be like that. Any one of the participants will give the feedback. Still, I see many of the videos turned off. Are all of you there?
We believe you are there, but we just want to see your beautiful faces, that's all. So keep your videos on.
Yes, Madam Kavita Krishnan, please give a feedback.
Yes, ma'am. I would actually thank Busy ma'am. Sorry, my face is quite disfigured because I had an accident recently. So I'm sorry, I'm keeping my phone off. So ma'am, that actually gave us an idea how to teach maths in an easy and in a easiest way to students of class 1 and 2. And how we can frame, especially for the students, this word problems are quite difficult. So ma'am, the way you taught us adding, removing, comparing and all, they will be knowing how to do it, and later on we can turn them and bring them in a proper way. So the basic concepts like this will be understood by them, and then we will teach them by doing some activities like ma'am said, because of the showing them chips or showing them biscuits and all. It will be easier for them. By that way, the primary concept will be understood by them, and word problems they can also do frame their own sentence and form their own word problems, and they will be able to solve it also. So ma'am, by this way, I think thank you so much ma'am for the abstracting and spatial sense and all, because spatial sense, as you ma'am you said, is very important because sometimes patterns are quite confusing. So spatial imagining and constructing is very important, and future level also it will be easy. So I thank you ma'am. It was a very what do we say? It was a very enriching section.
Thank you, Kavita madam. Wish you, I'm sorry to hear about the accident. Wish you a very speedy recovery from the issue. And thank you, Bijay madam. It was a very enriching session again. It's a very long topic and you can take hours to speak on it, but still it was very meaningful. Very practical things were told. Whatever can be implemented in class can be told. I request all the participants that the benefit of these sessions should reach the students. So there should be a marked change in the way the lessons are being taken. You should have inputs from these sessions and then incorporate it into your instructional strategies. Thank you. Raji madam, the next session is by Sini madam.
Sini madam.
Okay. So can we have a 15 to 20 minutes break?
Madam, we can have a 5 minutes break because Ramohan's time is limited. 12:15 we should start. So
all right.
We can have 5 minutes break.
Okay. Have a quick break.
Yes.